parents had a big influence on me. They were, my dad was an immigrant, came to New York after the end of World War II. And so he was definitely a self-starter, really came here with nothing, learned English on the boat on the way over. My mom also, comes from like a family of coal miners, and they were really great in giving me lots of opportunities and education. And I think the biggest influence academically on me was Dr. Neunhertz. I had a history teacher, and he got his PhD while we were in high school. All my coaches were super great academics, and so I kind of realized there was a great balance between athletics and that really influenced me a lot. A big, strong liberal arts education, and so it prepared me to kind of dive into science. I guess from the earliest days, I've been very interested in biology and pathology and infectious disease. And also, I love technology. And so I went to WSU and I really got excited about veterinary pathology and really looking at disease. When I graduated, I walked really in the door and I was hired that day in an interview. They're like, "You can do this?" And I said, "Yeah, I can do that." And so I had a degree in biology, but working with my hands is what, being in a lab and time in the lab was what got me a job. And that was, mid 80s in Seattle. Things were booming. And so I got a chance to go back to graduate school. I had a friend who talked me into going to the Weizmann Institute. And so I got a full ride scholarship there. And I took my girlfriend at the time, who had come from Fred Hutch, who ended up being my wife. Mainly, I would say I had a pretty good PhD. We founded a company when I was there, which is still actually going. And then from there, I went to Columbia University and worked under Ian Lipkin in infectious disease. So that's kind of my background. I came to Washington because I wanted to come back home. I got an opportunity at the University of Washington-Tacoma to start up a lab here and to be innovative, to really teach something different.
I always describe David as a tireless philanthropist. He wants the best for the world, and he is willing to put the time, energy into other people, into developing new ideas, but it really comes from this place that he wants to improve things for other people. And sometimes he does it for free. Most of the time he does it for free.
He really cares about education, and he's going to go out of his way to listen to what somebody wants and to find them an opportunity. I mean, that's what really impressed me more than anything. He really just encourages them just to pursue something, lets them know what the opportunities are, which a lot of times kids just don't see that for themselves. They just don't believe it. But he has a way of kind of instilling that enthusiasm in people, I think, and then also has a vision to make things happen. Set up an organization like this and to make it work, and he really has.
His 2-minute elevator pitch will have you absolutely believing that nothing is impossible, that he can totally get this going, and that the only thing that is constraining him are sort of these guardrails, put up by the establishment. That gets people excited. I think especially for younger scientists and stuff where, as you come up through the ranks and you see sort of, okay, this is the established career path, this is how we're going to do it, you know what I mean? And you a lot of us chafe against that. To watch David sort of say, okay, we're just not going to do this way, is really, really exciting for a lot of them.
He's been a relatively authentic leader, and I think that's sometimes difficult to come by. And I think as leaders, sometimes we go there's this plateau where you go up in leadership where you can go to the level of statesman. The difference between a statesman and just a regular leader leads people, but he augments his leadership towards the opinions of the people he's leading, while a statesman stands for something and the people gravitate towards that.
I know how important this award is. I've been involved as a board member with Junior Achievement for almost 15 years now. And I can just say that it's the right award for him. He's just done a lot, and I know he has so much more to give.
He doesn't want anyone to be held back by external barriers or societal or systemic or institutional barriers. So he's always trying to find ways to help people overcome anything that's in their way of doing and being everything they want to be. So I think he's really motivated by that, and I think he models that, and he tries to help other people to learn to do that too.
think one of the things Rain is good at is we try to get people comfortable with failing. Failure is good here. It's rewarded. You learn and you build, and it prepares you for recognizing success. And so what I think students learn, from Hollywood, or they learn in school, is that, people go out, do one experiment, boom, and that's it, and you're successful. And it's really not. And so if you really want to be entrepreneurial, that's success. Is you've got to have that grit that you're constantly reinventing yourself and the people around you.